up, beautiful people? If your week feels hectic before it ever gets started, this is the perfect video for you. I promise you. We are going to talk about how you can take 2 intentional hours, and yes, I am putting a timer on the screen to have your whole week be much smoother, much more productive if you just take the time. It doesn't have to be this complicated Sunday reset that we hear time and time again. It doesn't even need to be on Sunday. It just needs to be 2 intentional hours you set aside in order to have a smooth, productive week ahead of you. So how are we going to do that? Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so part 1, 15 minutes at the most, maybe 20, 30. It just depends on you, but definitely doable in this 2-hour time frame. And you're going to find by the end of this video, you may have parts of it that you can stack on top of each other. You'll see how I stack them on top of each other, but make sure you do what works for you. And that is making sure we have a weekly plan or a weekly preview. I'm never going to not talk about this in my videos, but I'm not going to get into how you plan for the week, but I am going to give you some non-negotiables that I think you need to target in order to have a productive 2 hours to get your week started. The first thing I'm going to say is you start here. If there's one place I'm going to tell you to start in this order, it's here. Because when you know clearly what's in front of you, you are much more likely to be able to plan productively. So during this time, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, wherever it is going to take for you, you're going to open up your calendar and you are going to look at your week. The first thing you are going to do is identify your non-negotiables. And when I say non-negotiables, I mean places you must be at. So you must probably have to be at work. This is meetings. This is pickups. This is commitments. These are things that you absolutely have to physically be at. You're going to write those things out in your planner for the entire week ahead of you. The second thing you're going to do is choose your big 3 or your top 3 outcomes for the week. These are the 3 things that if next week you was talking to you and had a conversation and you had done these 3 things, you would be highly satisfied with your week. I strongly suggest that you try to tie those things to your quarterly goals or your monthly goals, but whatever your big 3 are for the week, identify what those 3 things are. If that confuses you, ask yourself, if you could talk to Friday you, what would Friday you say thank you for? Those are the 3 things you probably need to identify. And I want to emphasize, it's 3, not 30. Okay, so everything is written down in the planner. I've got the whole week ahead of me, so I know where I have to be, what I have to do, and when I have to do it. So now we're going to go downstairs and I'm going to do my meal prep for lunch and some breakfast too as well, so that my mornings are smooth as possible. This is a perfect example of why I do this, because this week I have board meetings and they start in the evening and they can run pretty late. There's times I get home usually on average around 9, sometimes 10. There have been times I've gotten home at 11. So I have to have everything in place. So let's go downstairs and meal prep, and then from there we'll go and see what we're going to be wearing to work this week. And the timer is still clicking. One thing I'm going to say, this doesn't have to be complicated at all. And that's what I love about just taking the time to meal prep, because one of the things is it really isn't that complicated. And this is going to be enough for lunch for several days. So I'm going to put the rice in the bottom of the bowl, and this one pack pretty much can do 3 things of rice, because I don't like a lot of carbs anyway. But they are definitely necessary. They are not your enemy. I just don't need an excessive amount. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the salmon on top of that. Now, I don't know how you are, but I hate the skin on salmon. I know. Most people love it. I don't. So I try to just kind of pull it and then put it on top of the rice. But, you know, it's actually the really healthy part of the salmon. I just don't like the texture, y'all. I know I cannot be the only person out there. Like, this is probably the healthy part, but I'm just not a fan. So then I'm going to put the broccoli to the side. So I have my veggies, which is super simple. And it's pretty much that simple. I'm gonna put just a little dab of lemon juice on the fish. And I actually have some soy sauce in my office, so I don't need that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put my containers up in the refrigerator. And there you go. And the beautiful thing about it is, y'all, you see this pan? Everything was cooked on this one pan. It's not even that dirty. Just a little bit of dishwashing soap and we're done. I only used one pan and it didn't take any time at all to get done. All right, so now we are in the closet, or at least in my closet. And so I am in the process of picking out what I'm going to wear for the next 3 to 4 days. First thing I always do, and I strongly recommend you do, is here are my workout clothes for the next 4 mornings. So I plan my workout clothes pretty much according to what I'm going to be doing. So tomorrow I'm just going to be getting up super early and walking like 2-3 miles. So I've just got on some kind of bootleg pants and a red sports bra. And then Tuesday I have to run. So same kind of thing, just in purple. Then let's see, Wednesday I'm going to do lower body. So I definitely want something nice, loose, and comfy. And then on Thursday, I will be doing upper body. So I have all of my clothes and I set them aside here on top of this kind of little, and I'll insert a picture of it. I don't know what this thing is called. But that's where I put my workout clothes on. So workout clothes complete. I don't have to worry about that. The only thing I'm going to have to grab in the morning is socks. And I actually have all my workout shoes laid out underneath my closet anyway, where there's areas for my shoes. So I also don't have to worry about that. Okay, so depending on how intricate you want to be with picking out your clothes, and this may not even be your thing. I'm one of those people, I cannot be getting up in the morning and trying to decide what to wear. So what I do is I look at the weather for the whole week on my phone and I make a determination on what I want to wear. So that is what I'm going to do. And I don't necessarily always pick out my clothes for the whole week. There are a couple of things I do keep in mind. If I'm running, probably more than likely when I come downstairs, I'm still going to be really, really warm from running. So I never try to put anything on that is going to like feel like claustrophobic or feel heavy. That's not the day I would like probably put on a blazer. And so I do keep those kinds of things in consideration. But it really just depends on you. So I try to pick out my accessories, my shoes, and my clothes. So it is actually unseasonably cool here in Houston. So for the next 2 days, it's going to be in the mid 60s, low 70s, but it's also going to rain, I think, the next 2 days. So I also want to make sure that I'm dressed accordingly. And then I don't know about you, but I look at my calendar. That is why we always start with the calendar. If I know I have 50-11 meetings and I've got to go 50-11 places, I'm not wearing these shoes. If I know I'm going to be moving from place to place to place, like tomorrow, I think I have 6 or 7 meetings and a board meeting and a board workshop. I'm not wearing stilettos in the club, pumps, no. So tomorrow is going to be more than likely a more comfortable shoe day, just based on my activity. So I also keep that in mind. All right, so we have a master plan. As I promised you at the beginning of the video, we have a clear plan for what it is that we have to do. We know all of our events, we know all of our commitments, all of our meetings. We have narrowed down what our big 3 focus is going to be for the week. We also have a complete understanding of what our schedule looks like. And then on top of that, we have been proactive when it comes to meal prep. So when we're on the go, we are ready to go and we have something to grab to be nutritious and put in our bodies. So when I think about that just by itself, without even getting to the other parts, I already feel like I have a much better control of what my week is going to look like. So I know when I wake up in the morning, I know exactly what I'm going to put on to work out because it's already laid out. I don't have to struggle or fumble in the dark. I know exactly where it is and what it is. Then when I come back from my workout, I know exactly what I'm going to have for breakfast and how to prepare that. Then I know exactly what I'm going to put on for the day. I'm not struggling to figure out if these earrings go with that or those shoes go with that. Then in addition, that's where my actual job and my events start. So I already know everything I have to do tomorrow because we also took the time to do some time blocking. So I have a pretty good understanding of what my day is going to look like tomorrow. That intentionality that we've spent that last hour and 45 minutes, y'all, it is so critical to having a smooth week. It doesn't mean the week's going to be perfect. It doesn't mean unexpected things are going to happen, because I've never had a week that did not have unexpected things happen, but I have a lot more control and I'm a lot more likely to stick to my plan and stick to my goals when I'm a lot more organized. And then lastly, kind of this last 15 minutes is that wind down of taking care of any household keeping. This is where if you need to replenish your vitamins or, put things to the side that need to be done, maybe do a quick clean of your makeup brushes, whatever it is that you need to do to just make sure that your week is where it needs to be. I'm going to spend this last 10 minutes cleaning off my desk. I've got camera equipment and everything. My husband is making a boatload of noise. I don't know if you can hear that because we have crawfish left over. So he's taking this intricate way of reheating this crawfish. So we're gonna go downstairs and eat that. And I'm probably really honestly going to spend the last maybe 30 minutes before I go shower and put my pajamas on, reading my book and finishing it off outside on the porch in this very rare cool day in Houston in almost May, which is insane, but it is actually very pleasant outside. It's giving San Diego. It's not giving Houston. I don't know what's going on. And so as always, the goal is to have low friction. If this video helped you, please make sure that you give it a like. And if you are not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for, because on this channel, we talk about intentionality. We talk about planning. We talk about health. We talk about all of the things that make you the best, most balanced woman or man that you are. So as always, I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.